Hello and welcome to my channel. On today's video I will show you how to clean a property that hasn't been cleaned for at least 13 years. I'm living not too far away from here, and in 13 years I've seen absolutely nothing here that has been cleaned. And then the landlord told me that from that date there's maybe another 4 years that maybe bits and bobs have been cleaned around the house, but nothing more. Okay, so it's quite wild, and I will show you how we're gonna clean that. Before to start with the machine, like a madman, before you will need to assess the land. Obviously, if it's your house and you know what's on the floor, no problem. But if it's a property that you don't know, if for instance someone contracts you to come and work here, you never know what you will find. So first you have to find out what you're gonna be using. So if for instance you will work with the string or with the blade, and as well if you will have to use the chainsaw. So we'll have a look, we'll go around the property to assess a little bit what we will need, and then we'll start the job. General view, okay, seems to be grass, very easy. We're gonna do this with a wire. Here we've got some metal, have to be a bit careful with that, but not a problem really. Okay, this obviously with the blade. I won't leave so many, I will keep one, the rest will go. All this will have to go. Oh, this will have to be very careful, okay? Protection on the eyes must be, okay? For that caterpillar. All this as well, with the blade. We're gonna clean it nicely, but when I'm looking at the floor, I can't see anything bad really. I can't see stones that will be flying around, or I can't see metal, stuff like that, so that's good. So we continue. Oh, here I see a problem. Someone very intelligent had nothing better to do than to place bottles on the floor. So now when going with a brush cutter, it's a problem obviously, so I will have to be extra cautious. I can see that there's something to water the plants here too. I have to be very careful not to cut it. So all this same thing with wire, very easy, not a problem. So we'll have to alternate. Here we see we've got some heavy stuff, so I will change with the blade and the wire, but from what I can see there's nothing really special. The land seems to be clear. It looks like I won't have any surprise. I'm just gonna go at the bottom. So here same thing, we're gonna shred everything with the blade. All those trees that will be done after. First I will clear, and then after I will clean the trees with the chainsaw. Well, here we got a bit of junk, but not a problem either. This however is a problem. If this gets stuck on the brush cutter, it's a problem, but that seems to be the only place where there's a problem. So no, more or less that seems good. Okay. Oh, here we've got more junk. Oh, and we got our little friends that are back here as well. Okay, so with that I will have to be careful. Well, that seems to be an easy job. Okay, let's start. My machine is fitted with the blade, so I'm not gonna swap it now for the wire. Okay, I will start cutting everything that's a bit heavy, and then after I will switch for the wire. Okay, as well, I can't stress it enough, please work with the protector. Why? Because that machine goes at 10,000 RPM, and when the storm goes, it goes very high, and you will hurt yourself. Gloves, helmets, visor, pants that will protect you. If you don't have that kind of pants, use a minimum a protector, okay? Because accidents happen very easy. Okay, so let's go now. The clearing goes quite well. Okay, I'm not gonna continue filming because obviously it's the same thing, but I will show you what's the result once done. You see, that's what I'm telling you about when I'm looking on the ground to see if I can find something that can damage the machine. Here I came across that pole and I got very lucky that here it was empty, okay, because that would have broken the head of the machine, okay. And this one, it's heavier, and it was on the floor, so I've been very lucky as well on this, because if this has been like that, the head of the machine was gone, okay. So always be very careful of these things. I continue clearing all this, and of course it's so thick that we can't see anything, but when you clear, just look, look here. Can you see that stone? It's absolutely big. Okay, you see? So if your blade goes against that, same thing, the head of your machine will be gone. Okay, so always be very careful. When you see that, you remove it, or very carefully you go around. But in this case, because it's so thick, I will remove it. Okay, that's it. That part is now done. As you can see, there's a huge difference. Okay, you must have noticed that when I cut everything, I always give my back. Okay, that's very important, because if a stone goes with a machine or stuff like that, as I said, it's like a bullet, and I can not only damage my camera, but if there's people working with you, they can be hurt. Okay, so that's why try to always give your shoulder or your back to someone, so like that you prevent accidents. Okay, so that's done. Now I will have to use the chainsaw and prune the trees a little bit, but that I will do it later. Okay, now we're gonna go on to the other side and have a better look at the rest of the property. Normally what I would do, I will not change the part, I will not change from the blade to the string, etc. But for the video, I will do it, okay? So now I will clear all this, which is only grass, okay? Then we'll see the difference. That's so much better. Just at some point I had to revert to the blade because the string was breaking all the time with some small almond trees and olive trees that was growing. But it's better. We are now on the lower part of the property, which has a lot of work to be done. So same thing, we clear everything first with the brush cutter, and then after we're gonna prune all the trees. Let's go. So much better, isn't it? So now I've cleared the entire property, just below some trees. I couldn't do it to the machine, so it doesn't matter. We will use this and that now. Okay, so we're gonna start pruning the trees, then removing all that wood, and we should be good. Much better now. All I need to do nice clear all the branches, then I will pass again the brush cutter below the trees because it was so big, so badly maintained that obviously some grass remain under. Then eventually I will cut lightly by hand and that will be it. As you will see, there's some olive trees or almond trees that go quite high. Normally we have to cut it sorry, but I won't do it because I've removed quite a bit already, and if I cut too much then that won't be good for the tree. So now time to clear the land. In fact, I've changed my mind, and instead of taking all those branches away to dispose, I think the best will be to burn it directly here. Why? Because there's actually no entry for the car and the trailer here, so it's actually quite a pain to go and back and forth, which will take me forever. So the best, tomorrow morning I'll come back and I will start burning all this, and that's it. That will be done and dusted. Before this go up in flames, this is rosemary, and normally it's quite thin, but here look, it's the size of the palm of my hand. I had to actually cut it with the chainsaw. It's just to tell you for how long that property hasn't been maintained. So that's it, it's now finished. Let me now show you, go through the property, what it looks like. We have trimmed a bit that type of palm tree, not sure it's called. All the almond trees, we've cut them quite low. They will sprout again, there's no problem. Here at the end, you remember, we couldn't even step foot. Now we can see the almond trees, that's good. We're gonna go through the small garden that was here, where we had those bottles on the floor. None has been broken, which is good. And now it's so much better here. Much better. We're gonna go now to the lower part, where we had here an olive tree that was absolutely a mess. So now we can see it, and the rest of the property is completely cleaned. So obviously all the trees have been pruned, which is nice. Now we can see the garden. So I had to burn obviously quite a lot. Now all the olive trees obviously have been trimmed as well. As I said before, I didn't cut it too much because they need to be able to recover a little bit, but next year I hope the landlord will do something about it. And that's it. So now we can see the property from the bottom, that before it was difficult. What it took me to clear that land, what it took me a very large, big week. Why? The reason is because there's no access. There's simply no access with a car or trailer here, and obviously there's a lot of time lost, which is really a shame. But now when we see the result from the before and after, it's still quite good. So now if you need to do a job for a client, if you have something similar and you're not too sure how much to charge the client, there's three ways to charge a client. You can tell them I charge so much per hour, or I charge so much per day. Or if you're really sure of how long or how much of time you're going to spend here, you can say, well, this is a global price for the entire job, and that's it. In my case, I've done it totally by heart. I've done this to help my neighbor. Obviously, people wanted to come and buy the house, they see it abandoned, they see the land abandoned, and they freak out. They think, God, there's so much of work here. So as we are the 24th of December, I hope this will be a good present for him, and I hope that he will like it. Okay, so anyway, I hope that you have liked the video, the before and after, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so, and we'll see each other in the next one. Take care of yourself. Ciao.